Hello everyone. Welcome back. I'm ImBumi and today we are watching True Facts Deception in the Rainforest by zefrank1. I believe this one will be looking into a lot of the animals in the rainforest that have camouflage, either adaptive or passive camouflage. So this is going to be interesting. I don't know a lot of organisms that have camouflages in rainforests. I believe chameleons are one, and there's the stick bug that that always gets trolled by the stick bug. And oh wait, I remember there was a bug that looks like a leaf at one point, and a couple of snakes as well. They just blend naturally within the surroundings. So yeah, I'm excited to see what we're gonna get in this video. So remember, if you like my reactions, don't forget to leave a like. Let me know your thoughts on the reaction down in the comment section below, and consider subscribing. Also, give me suggestions of what other videos you'd like me to watch. I'll be more than happy to check that out for you. That said, let's go ahead and watch the video.
Rainforests are the most biologically diverse places on Earth. Wildlife photographers David Weiler and Thomas Morant would know. They have traveled to rainforests around the world. Jerry, is that them? Oh, I see, they're the ones that took the pictures. Well, that makes more sense. Rainforests are host to more than half of all known species, which means they can be crowded as hell. It's like those apartment buildings that kids move into after college.
Jokes.
Everyone has like 50
what the
roommates,
hell?
all of them with dietary restrictions. And there's always one that makes way too much noise in the morning. It's sort of like that, but in the rainforest, some of your roommates want to eat you. So if you want to live there, you have to figure out how to get not eaten. Perhaps the most straightforward way of avoiding a predator is to have a hidey hole. But if you don't have a hidey hole to hide in, the next best thing is to be able to hide in plain sight. To disappear through background matching, an animal's coloration is roughly what you would get if you took a random sampling of the colors and shapes in their background. This is a form of crypsis or camouflage.
I don't see it. I don't see it. Is this here? I see feet. Is this a damn frog? It is a damn frog. There it is. Damn, it looks like a barb.
Comes about from an evolutionary dance between predator and prey. If an individual winds up with a mutation that makes it harder for a predator to detect them,
I don't know what the hell that is.
Right at them, then they are more likely to make babies and pass the trait on to the next.
This is one of the active camouflages, right? Where it changes shape and color.
Generation.
Does it?
Rinse and repeat. These sorts of adaptations are driven by what the predator can perceive. If your predator is colorblind, you can have little red speckles and still disappear on a gray background. If they don't see in high resolution, maybe your blotches can be a bit bigger. And likewise, creatures that we have a hard time seeing might pop out to predators who can see ultraviolet light. However, this strategy isn't perfect. Light and shadows can reveal your outline. Or that, right? I mean, sometimes you have to go, and that's good technique. You miss the guy behind him. They're free poopers. They know what they're doing. Anywho, instead of disappearing by having a seemingly random array of speckles, animals that employ disruptive camouflage will often have neighboring patches of highly contrasting colors that would otherwise draw attention. Disruptive camouflage creates false edges that make it hard to see the true shape of an animal.
Now, what I would like to know, I don't know if he's gonna mention it or not. There are a lot of animals and insects that has like permanent camouflage, right? Are they do they develop depending where they are born? Like, if everything is green around you, is there a chance that you're gonna be born with, like, say for example, brown tinted camouflage? Or is it always adapting to whatever the general environment is?
And it's not just about color. Having extra body bits here and there can make it quite difficult to figure out what part of the animal you're looking at.
Oh, damn.
Changes in coloration and shape can allow an animal to come into the foreground a bit, instead of just blending into a background. In masquerade, even if an animal is spotted, it has evolved to be mistaken for something inanimate. Something that wouldn't be on the predator's menu. Sticks and leaves seem to be quite popular.
Stick
Listen,
bugs.
I'm sure it's not easy pretending to be a stick or a leaf, or the end of a log like a potu bird do. I'm just saying it doesn't feel that creative. It's like being a witch on Halloween. At least with bird poop, you know they're trying. The caterpillar of the king-page swallowtail is like next-level stuff. I mean, right down to the texture. Look at it. I know what you're thinking.
Yeah,
My
it looks
poop
like
doesn't have
bird
little
shit.
red antennas on it. Kind of screws up the whole costume. Here's the thing, though. That's an organ called the osmeterium. It is everted. Think if you could turn your nostrils inside out. And it emits a terrible smell. I told you they're next level at this. But if poop isn't your thing, the monkey slug caterpillar is more of a think outside the box sort of pretender.
Oh.
From the bottom, they look a bit like
Is it walking
a
upside down?
tongue with a mullet. But when they are right side up, they
Yeah, it
appear to
was.
mimic what's left
Damn.
behind after a tarantula
Molting.
molts.
Yeah.
Right down to the details, like the little holes where the legs come out. But if masquerade is about
Damn, that was
appearing as
good.
something uninteresting to a predator, what about pretending to be something downright unpleasant? In the rainforest, there are quite a few things that are very unpleasant for predators to try and eat. Some have very visible defenses, like thorns and
That's
spikes.
one ugly.
I'm sorry, it's hard to take this one seriously, Your Majesty. I take it back. However, other defenses are harder to
So
see.
dumb.
Many species ingest or can create toxins that taste terrible and can make a predator very sick or
A lot
even
of
very
frogs do
dead.
that.
I know what you're thinking. Being toxic to a predator after it's already chewing on you is not that great of a defense. Joke's on you. I bet you puke up my lifeless body in 5 minutes. Burn.
But then again, I think evolution is gonna play a part in that, where um, not in the insect or the one getting eaten, but the one eating it. They're probably gonna evolve to avoid that type of insect if they know that it's gonna be hazardous for them to eat, right?
Google blue jay barfing butterfly. You'll see what I mean. But even if you end up becoming predator puke, your relatives and offspring might be spared
Yeah.
if the predator learns to avoid things that look like you. This means that for
Yeah, that's what I meant. They're gonna evolve into not wanting to eat you. So everyone down the line of you. Well, I don't know if you the insect was able to mate before it died, but everyone that looks like that particular insect will get spared, I guess.
animals that have toxins, there can be an evolutionary advantage in helping the predator to learn to avoid them. In some cases, this means an
You just
animal
gotta
will
take
do
one for
the
the team.
opposite of hiding, displaying bright colors and making themselves very conspicuous. This is called aposematic coloration, basically an honest warning signal, one that can help the predator make the association. Now, what is interesting is that often two or more species that are toxic will evolve to look very much alike. For example, both the viceroy on the left and the monarch on the right are toxic to birds. Bees and wasps do this too. When two or more well-defended species share a warning signal, it is called Mullerian mimicry, after Fritz Muller, who is dead. This works from an evolutionary standpoint because sharing a warning signal means that you share the cost of educating predators. Each species loses fewer individuals to the learning process than if they went it
That's true.
alone. But if there are signals that cause predators to stay away, there is an opportunity to cheat. If you are delicious and quite safe to eat like this katydid, there's an advantage to looking like a wasp that has a pointy butt. When a good-to-eat creature pretends that it's a dangerous or toxic one, it is called Batesian mimicry, after Henry Walter Bates, who is dead. This can involve both a look and a behavior. Some hawk-moth caterpillars are about as good at pretending to be a snake as you can imagine a caterpillar
wow.
being.
That
When threatened,
Yeah.
it waves itself around like a dangerous third of a snake. But the yellow
Well,
and black of
it's
pointy
rather
bee
short,
butts
but it
is one of
works.
the most recognizable warning signals of all. And that means there's a lot of fakers out there
Yeah.
that don't have
Black
pointy
and
butts
yellow
like the bee
stripes
do, but want in
or
on the
coloring.
protection. Some beetles are okay at it, and the moths do it pretty well. But the winner of the bee and wasp cosplay goes to the hoverflies. They're all in. Hundreds of species of hoverflies mimic everything from yellow jackets to bumblebees to the skinny-waisted mud dauber wasps. You can see how all these fakers could really screw up the whole predator education thing. And if there's too many mimics, then the
Yeah, they're just gonna sneak in a dog like that, pretending that I won't see.
predator can start to catch on and become more discerning. Some butterflies have an amazing way of making sure that they don't overplay their deceit. Papilio dardanus has been called the most interesting butterfly in the world. The other butterflies were like, whatever. The females are polymorphic, meaning that a female will grow up to be one of over 14 different body forms or morphs.
Oh,
Here's a little sample.
interesting.
All of these are Papilio dardanus. And here's the crazy part. Each of these forms mimics a different distasteful species of butterfly. It's like a genetic Swiss
Tastes
Army
like
knife
crap.
of deception. And you never saturate the market.
Do they only like when they metamorph, do they only copy one, or can they change over time?
Butterflies are predators themselves, and they can be tricked by their prey. Vines in the genus Passiflora, with their crazy-ass flowers, have developed toxins that keep most butterflies and caterpillars away. However, some butterflies have evolved an enzyme that can break this toxin down, so they just lay their eggs willy-nilly all over the Passiflora leaves. But when the little babies hatch, they have a tendency to be cannibalistic, so these butterflies will avoid laying their eggs near someone else's eggs. Some Passiflora vines take advantage of this. They appear to mimic butterfly eggs in a number of different ways. For example, little yellow spots on the leaves, or these little yellow polyps. All of this to deceive the butterfly and keep it moving along to the next plant. Mimicking the predator you're trying to avoid is called Gilbertian mimicry, after Lawrence Gilbert.
I don't
who's
know
not
why I'm
dead, but based
I don't
on
know
the
why I'm
last two, I'd be
comparing.
worried.
I don't know why I'm comparing myself with the butterfly, but that was rather obvious.
But no defense is foolproof, and so animals will often have a number of different ones, some of which only come into play at the very last moment before a predator strikes. The Amazon barcanole is very well hidden, but will flash a bright color when threatened. Butterflies, moths, and lanternflies play a metal version of peekaboo to the death, with giant eye spots that can startle or change the point of attack. Getting a predator to strike away from vital organs can be the difference between a shitty day and a very shitty day. The gray hairstreak butterfly has a false head on the tips of its wings. They often sit with that part pointing up, and they can even move their little false antennae. Better to be bit on the butt than dead. And then there's this little caterpillar who does that. You know you'd be freaked out if your food winked at you. In any case, you can see
wait.
You know you'd be freaked out if your food winked at you. In any case, you can see that if you live together for millions of years, it all devolves into an episode of Big Brother. Everyone's just lying to everyone, even the predators. They're mimics too. If there's a deception that you can think of, it probably exists. Like Rule 34. As Aristotle said, nature is a whore with a vacuum. Jerry, that's not right. No, see, it's nature abhors a vacuum. What? Is that why nature is so dirty? It's not a vacuum cleaner. No, it's like an empty space, like a hole. So in this context, it's like if nature sees an empty hole, it'll put an animal in it. Well, I suppose that is a little dirty. Who, Aristotle? Yeah, he's super dead.
Alright, that was another good one. I was kind of expecting to see a lot of the bigger creatures, but it looks like we just focused on the smaller ones, which is also interesting. Oh man, I thought that we were gonna see a lot more of the active camouflages, but those were really good as well. Especially the frog. I believe it was a frog that looked like a bark at the beginning. That really got me there. And I don't know what's going on with that caterpillar that he said winks. It just looks like it has an eye popping out for a few milliseconds there. But yeah, this is another great video. Everyone go ahead and check out zefrank1. He uploads a lot of good true facts. Like I said before, I'm gonna take this man for his word, and I'm gonna believe him. So yeah, that's gonna be it for me today, guys. Link to my Twitter is down in the description below. Go ahead and check it out if you want to. If you're new here and enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a like. Let me know your thoughts on the reaction down in the comment section below, and consider subscribing. It helps me and it helps the channel grow. Also, let me know what other videos you'd like me to watch. I'll be more than happy to check them out for you. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!